Hey guys, this is Ochu. I wanted to give you guys some information that I haven't shared with you before. When I initially started to notice my gang stalking, I didn't know exactly what was going on. I was really contemplating on going to law enforcement at all because, the situation just kind of sounded very strange. What I ended up doing was I kind of bypassed law enforcement. Well, I'll take that back. I did contact law enforcement, but they weren't able to help me. So I went a step further and I contacted the FBI. I submitted a request for a Freedom of Information Act. Okay. I did that online and I got a response back from them. And when I did this was June of 2015. Here's the response letter. I have some things kind of covered because I really don't want my full name and stuff like that shown on this video, but I'll show you, what the letter kind of says. U.S. Department of Justice, Federal Bureau of Investigation. There's the date, then my request number, and there's their seal. And I'll just kind of go over what the letter says. Just bear with me a second. Let me try to just cover up this. Okay. So it says, this is in response to your Freedom of Information Privacy Act FOIPA request. Based on the information you provided, we conducted a search of the central records system. We were unable to identify main file records responsive to the FOIPA. If you have any additional information pertaining to the subject that you believe was of investigative interest to the Bureau, please provide us the details and we will conduct an additional search. In accordance with the standard FBI practice and pursuant to FOIA exemption, B7E, blah, 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 Privacy Act exemption, USC, blah, blah, blah. This response neither confirms nor denies the existence of your subject's name on any watch list. For your information, Congress excluded 3 discrete categories of law enforcement and national security records from the requirements of the FOIA. And then it goes on to say, this response is limited to those records that are subject to the requirements of the FOIA. This is a standard notification that is given to all our requesters and should not be taken as an indication that excluded records do or do not exist. For questions regarding our determinations, visit www.fbi.gov/FOIA website under Contact Us. The FOIPA request number listed above has been assigned to you per your request. Please use this number in all correspondence concerning your request. Your patience is appreciated. It also goes on to say if I wanted to file an appeal, I could do so by writing to the Director, Office of Information Policy, U.S. Department of Justice. Then it gives the address and website link. So I just wanted to kind of show this to you guys. When I initially tried to reach out to law enforcement in reference to some of the things that were happening, I didn't even mention anything to them about the mobbing or gang stalking per se. What I did mention was my vehicle was being sabotaged and things were being, my vehicle was basically being infiltrated. People were moving things around in my vehicle, basically letting me know that my vehicle was being entered. And the weirdest thing about it was I had an alarm on my car. So how is it that these people were able to get in my car without my alarm going off, but then on top of that, lock my car back or engage the alarm back? So that was just very strange to me. So I tried to point these things out to law enforcement. Some of the markings that I had on my vehicle that I hadn't done, that was done by these perpetrators. And their first, instead of investigating, the first thing they said was, have you tried to get some help? And I said to them, well, sir, that's exactly what I'm trying to do now. I'm trying to, give you guys information so we can find out what's going on. And the other cop says, no, have you tried to get professional help? So at that point, that was just a major red flag to me. Like, how would they automatically just assume my mental state? I don't have any mental illness. There's no record of me having any mental illness. So it was just a red flag that they wouldn't even investigate my claims. And I immediately dismissed that whole interaction with them. I thanked them for their time, and they went on about their business. They did give me an incident number for that, for the call. So I still have that. But yeah, they weren't able to help me. So like I said, that's why I had to go a further step up and reach out to the FBI. I'm also going to tell you something else. There was another YouTube gentleman. He went by the name Cosmo on YouTube. His real name was Eugene Gavin Long. Some of you guys may be familiar with him or know about him. He was also a TI. And I had a couple of phone conversations with him in the past. Shortly after our second phone conversation, I believe he was set up in Louisiana. He traveled to Louisiana to promote, I think he was writing a book, or he had a book rather, and he was trying to promote his book. And somehow, some way, he got set up out there. He ended up getting into a shootout with law enforcement, and they ended up killing him. Well, he shot 3 of their officers, 3 or 4 of them. Yeah, I think he killed 3 or 4, and they ended up killing him. Now, he was also going through the same targeting as a lot of us are. The same tactics, same things that they do, the noise campaigns, you know, the whole nine. And it was just so sad that I got that news. I was actually watching the news when I saw his face and they said his name. I was like, wow, that's the guy I talked to. That's Cosmo. So anyways, I contacted the FBI in Houston, and they wanted to talk to me about the situation because, you know, I told them that I spoke to him a few times, and I guess they wanted further information. So the FBI, they came to where I was staying at that time and picked me up, and they took me to Houston Intercontinental Airport, and they had me in a room, you know, just kind of like interrogating me, asking me, you know, what other information did I know about him? Was he working with any groups? Was he planning any other attacks, things of that nature? And this guy never gave me the indication that he would even do anything like that. I mean, he was an advocate for, you know, gun rights, right to bear arms and things of that nature. I believe he was an ex-Marine, and he just wanted to be left in peace. You know, he didn't understand why he was receiving all this harassment and persecution from people that he doesn't even know. So that's what I explained to them. I explained to them that, you know, he was also experiencing the, you know, gang stalking, mobbing, and all the things that we do experience. And what one of the agents told me, I pleaded with them. First of all, I asked them, I said, look, I hope you guys don't think that I'm insane, because I'm really, you know, I know what I'm experiencing. I know what's going on. There are many other people that are dealing with this same thing. I pleaded with them, you know, like, please believe me, I'm telling you the truth. And the agent, one of the agents said to me, as a matter of fact, I'll get his card out because he gave me his card. 1 second. Please bear with me. Okay, here it is. So this was the card that I got from him, Special Agent Glenn Gregory. And Mr. Gregory tells me that he says that, Anthony, we know that you're not crazy. We know what's going on. There's nothing we can do about it. We have our hands tied. And I just kind of sat there and just, you know, was kind of like in a shock. You know, I kind of went silent. And then he went on to ask me if I was religious. And I told him that I'm not religious, but I do believe in the Most High God, and I believe he sent his only begotten son, you know, to save us. And that he raised him up from the dead. And he tells me, and he asked me, he says, well, you know, do you also pray? And I said, yes, of course I do pray. And he tells me basically that's all you can do is just pray. So that's pretty much how that conversation went. So apparently these guys know what's going on. You know, I think it's something that they can't really talk to the public about, because it's far deeper than what we know, or far deeper than what we understand. So that's all I have to say in this video. I just wanted to share that information with you guys. Again, reaching out to law enforcement or any intelligence agencies or anything like that, it's not going to help. The only true help we have is faith in the Most High God and following the ways of Yeshua. That is the only help that we have. So you guys just please try to strengthen your faiths and just rely completely on him. He wants us to rely on him and not rely on man anyways. So I just wanted to share this information. I hope you guys are doing well. If you have any other additional questions for me, you know, please present them in the comment section in reference to any of the information I've just given, and I'll be happy to answer those questions. God bless you guys, and talk to you soon. Bye.